and welcome back to my channel. This is my second video. This video is gonna be me sketching, just doing a quick sketch in my sketchbook while I talk to you guys. And usually what I wanted this to turn into is when I get my tripod is I set my camera up so I can look over my sketchbook and so that you can watch me draw and sketch out. But I want to practice drawing more, and I feel like in order to do that I should just record myself and talk to you guys and set a designated time to draw. Just draw and talk. So I guess for this video I'm gonna just tell you guys my art history, where I began learning how to draw. So I guess I'll start with the first art class I ever took. Was that when I started? The first art class I ever took was in middle school in 7th grade, because that was the first time that we got to have 2 electives, and I was like, well, I'll do band and art because I was a band geek. But in that art class I still wasn't at the point where I am now, where I'm like, oh, I can draw things and they'll come out how I want them or expect them to. I still just thought I was bad at art, and that I'm bad at art, but this is an art class, so she's not gonna fail me for being bad. I need to draw more. I need to draw and talk less. But yeah, so I joined this art class, and I met a really cool friend. Her name was Claudia. She could draw great. Like, it didn't even make any sense. I was like, what? Like, she would just draw these masterpieces while I'm in the corner drawing like stick figures and things, and I was always like, you know what, I want to learn how to draw like her. And she used to tell me all the time, she'd be like, anybody can draw, and I'm like, sure, whatever. And I just like blew her off and things. But that was my first art class. But I can say that I don't think I learned anything from that class. And then I think at some point in 8th grade I had decided that for some reason I wanted to get into art again. And so my dad, he had bought me a sketchbook and all this other jazz. And guess what? I didn't use them. I did not use it. I did for a second, and I could show you a couple pictures. I'll probably put up a couple pictures of a couple pieces I've done in that sketchbook, but I still didn't stick to it until, and then in 9th, so then it went on after 8th grade. In 9th grade, my high school had an art club, and I was always in the art club, but it was more of like you didn't have to do art in the club. So at first I started getting into it, but then I didn't hang out with the best of people, and they would always make fun of my art, so I like kind of quit. And I was like, well, I'm not good at it and nobody likes my art, so I don't want to do this anymore. So I'd stopped drawing. And then in my senior year of high school, I dropped those friends. I lost those friends. I don't have those friends anymore. We're not even friends. We don't talk anymore. But now in senior year of high school, I didn't join. I had a class, art class, and I was like, well, let me try again. And my art teacher, I can say that it was mainly because of my art teacher. He was just a really good art teacher. He was always so encouraging. And then I'll show you a couple more pictures from my sketchbook from that class. But that class was when I realized that I can learn how to draw. Like, I don't have to be good from the gate. I can learn. And so that's when I got encouraged to get back into it. So this is where I am now, another year later, and I'm getting better. I'm drawing more, but I need to put more time into it, is what I've realized. So, but I guess I'll talk about when I started getting back into it. Mr. Williamson was my art teacher's name. Best art teacher ever, I promise. I was a good man. Alright there, that's a good man. I would like draw stick figures, and he'd be like, this is good, but can you add some shading? And I'd be like, shading? And he'd do a quick like shade for me on my little like bad drawing, and it would improve it so much. And I was like, what? And so he taught me how to shade. And then in his class, I think it was also just the way his class ran, because every morning we would do like a gesture drawing, or like he'd put up a picture and we'd have to draw that. So we'd get a lot of practice in general, and then we'd do a lot of big projects. Like, I have a bunch of paintings on my wall. I'll show a picture. But all the artwork on my wall, well, actually I only have two. I only have two on my wall. I got three. I have three on my wall. I have this wiener dog. I painted that in this class, but that one was for fun. I have my Rick and Morty. That was the first drawing, or the first project we did in his class. The Rick and Morty one with the Meeseeks. And I also have another Rick and Morty one. All I did was Rick and Morty paintings in his class, to be honest with you. So I have that one and that one. And then else on my wall I have this fish painting, but this was done on, like, with me and my friend. The what do you call it? The jellyfish side is my friend's side, and the fish side is my side. I'm gonna show you the sketch. I'll put up a picture of the sketch of what the fish was supposed to be, but I never finished it. But now it's just kind of gone so long that, like, I don't want to finish it, because it's just, I like the way it is as it is. So yeah, but in that class we did a lot of, like, practice drawings and, like, sketches, and I think it helped a lot because it just gave me a lot of practice, and it gave me a lot of time to show that, like, you can improve and you can get better. And it's just how encouraging my teacher was. Like, he was really good at making me feel good about my art, make me feel good about my art, you know what I mean? He'd be like, this is great, and I'm like, really, you think so? And he's like, yeah. And he was just really nice. So now I'm like, oh, I can learn how to draw, and I am getting better. I have noticed that I have gotten better, and I kind of just want to do more art projects. I like doing big art projects. I feel like that's where I improve the most, is when I, like, start something and stick to it. And then not only, like, well, let me backtrack, because this is what I learned. I learned that sketches aren't completed products. Sketches aren't completed products, because sketches they're mostly supposed to be just ideas that you put out there, and then once you sketch something out, then you do erasing and adding permanent lines and more erasing, and it's more of like a process. And in my head, I used to think that sketches, or when people would have nice big paintings, like, they just picked up something and just did it, and that's how it came out. But that's not true. There's a behind the scenes. There's a sketch, then there's erasing, and there's probably another drawing on the side of, they've probably drawn that same thing like 5 times before they finally, like, put it to paint and just went for it. And after learning that, that's when I finally clicked in my head that I can't just sketch something and just leave it at that. Like, after I sketch, I go back to the sketch, erase, edit, and then decide. Just keep working on it till I think it's complete. And that's helped me the most in just deciding on, like, hey, man, this is pretty cool. This video turned into me talking, but it's getting kind of long, so I'm gonna cut it short. But thanks for listening. I'm gonna finish drawing this, and I'm gonna just show you my end result. But I can speed through me drawing. I'll just do a speed through me drawing.